Welcome to our mobile home makeover. We have a mobile home that we bought about 20 years ago and had placed on an acre of land in north central Texas. And most of that time we were dead broke and could barely do any maintenance or repair on it, so it's deteriorated quite a bit. We are now in a position to where it's gotten so bad and we have just a little bit of extra income. So we figured this is a good time to start really putting some attention on our house. This is the snow left over from Snowpocalypse 2021 in February. Everyone heard about that in the news when a lot of people lost power and a lot of plumbing problems ensued, including our house. We basically lost all of the plumbing and some of the electricity at this time. And we could not live in our house. We had to live with my parents for a few months. And this is what it looked like after the snow melted, but it was still really cold, and we still were not living in our house. We came to take these shots to get some befores so that we could compare them to what it looks like after we start work. As you can see, there's a lot of work that needs to be done. These trees are all volunteer trees that just sort of grew up around the house. None of them were here when we first moved the house here, and we have never trimmed them at all, as you can plainly see. This one looks like it's half dead. Once it's trimmed, I'm not even sure if it's going to survive or if it's a good idea to keep it so close to the house. This decking was in okay shape when it was built, but it's really in bad shape and is going to need to be completely replaced probably. These drone shots are kind of showing you what's going on with the roof, which isn't too bad. More volunteer trees. Moving off to the north side of the house, you can see this building in the background that was built by a good friend of ours who actually did quite a bit of work for us. It's built out of scrap material, which is why it looks like it has signs all over it. Here you can see that a lot of the skirting has been removed from under the house. That's for access. We had to get under there to work on plumbing many times, and also there was some electrical access there. But you can kind of see the cinder block foundation that we have. Here's our backyard area, including our rusted out shed that has no door. More volunteer trees that have never been trimmed and are starting to cause some damage to the roof. More areas where the skirting has been removed for access. Off to the left, I'll tell you in a minute, there's just some trash on the ground. There are plywood planks. This is a better angle on this tree and the area that's been removed for access, the skirting that's been removed for access, and a better shot on this outbuilding, which we call the shed. As I said, it was built by a friend of ours who had access to a lot of scrap signs. These are plywood signs. Here we have a closer look at the underside of the house. You can see the electrical wiring has been sort of capped there. That was completely melted at one point. Fortunately, it was fixed by the time this video was taken. Here's the side of the shed, another volunteer tree that has started to collect some trash. These signs, again, were scrap signs that were salvaged by our friend and built this shed, which is extremely sturdy and extremely large, but also full of stuff, and therefore we can't really use it right now. One of the projects on my list is to try to get it cleaned out so that we have access to it as workshop space. As you can see, this is a very flat area of Texas, nothing that could be called a hill or a dale, not even a lot of trees. You can kind of see what this looks like. As you can see, just tons and tons of yard work, as well as work on the actual structures and the property. Oh, this is our septic tank here, which also needs some work. Another area where we've pulled the siding out to gain access to under the house. This mower, my poor husband had to use to mow the lawn until we finally broke down and spent the bucks to buy this really nice John Deere. Here we wanted to show you the roof line of the house. There's some significant damage to the soffit area, which you can see here. Might have been creatures, might have been trees. Not sure exactly what caused that, but it clearly needs a lot of repair. And there's another area here that looks like it was caused by the trees. So, as you can see, being a mobile home, there's not a lot of overhang on this roof, and so it gets extremely hot here in the summertime. This structure at the front of the house we call the bus stop. It was built by our good friend who built that for our kids when they were little. They're now grown and out of the house and have no need of a bus stop. Once again, this is a nice shot of some roofline damage and the deck that needs significant repair or replacement. So lots and lots of work, but we do think that it is worth the trouble. It's a nice little piece of property in a nice quiet area, and we like it. So we expect it to take several years and a lot of money. We actually did a rough estimate. Here I am actually doing some work. Now this is a borrowed chainsaw because I've never trimmed these trees. I don't own a chainsaw, but I borrowed this little chainsaw from a friend of mine. It's a corded electrical chainsaw, which I really enjoyed using. I'm just hacking away at the branches, trying to get them out of the way so that we can have some access to the deck and to the front door. I really like this little chainsaw. I don't remember exactly how long it is. It looks like it's about 10-12 inches long at the blade, which I love. And this tool is also borrowed. This is actually a bolt cutter that my stepfather lent me, and it works really well for cutting these small branches once they've been detached from the tree. We saved all this wood and we'll burn it later. There you go. That's what it looks like after we trim these trees. I just got these two in the front, but it looks a lot better. Of course, you can see the deck better, and the deck looks ugly, but the trees are a lot better. And we felt really good. Also, the yard got mowed. Luke did that with our really nice lawnmower, and takes a long time, but he did a great job, and it looks a lot better. Well, there you have it. This is the very beginning of our mobile home makeover. We hope that you will join us as we do these projects, large and small, to turn our house into a place that's more appealing and more comfortable and just generally a nice place for us to live. Thank you for joining us.